What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Pleasure Explosion. I'm your host this week, Dylan Blythe. I'm joined by Ashley Hobley.
What's up,
Nick?
everybody?
It's your boy.
Jono Peck.
It's your boy.
It's your boy!
I love it.
What is that?
My favorite part is that at this stage, people are like, "This joke's kind of getting old," but to all of us, we're like, "No, it's still funny to us."
I laugh every week. It's fine.
Jack Cruz.
California love.
Okay.
That was a
The reference point.
Tupac. Reference point. Tupac doesn't need a reference point.
Look,
Oh, that's Eddie Murphy, isn't it?
What'd you say?
Eddie who's singing that song? Eddie Murphy.
That is from the Eddie Murphy Raw soundtrack. No, that was.
I love that. I had
That's
it
your
on tape.
boy.
wore it
That's
out.
your boy Tupac and Dr. Dre.
Eddie Murphy did Party All the Time, which is a great song.
He
released-
do
Thomas
Party all the
Marshall.
time.
How are you?
That is a song.
It's raining. It's not very fun, but otherwise I'm good.
That's great. So we're all gathered here today to talk about
Eddie Murphy. My girl wants to party all the time.
You're upsetting Jinxie Cat. This is our home.
the classic film Bad Neighbours, starring Seth Rogen, directed by someone.
Nick Stoller.
Was it Nick Stoller? Nicholas
so.
Stoller.
Why do you know that?
Oh, well,
It's actually a
not
good
really-
movie.
It's
Pretty
not
sure
really.
this is follow-up to the
It's not
Muppets.
really that important, but
What? I thought we were talking about this.
what? The Bad? No, we're talking about Neighbours, the TV show, and who your favourite
Oliver
cast
Lance.
member, and who your what? I love how quickly he had an answer. for
Margot
that.
Robbie was on Neighbours.
Alf Stewart.
She played a psychopath.
No, Alf Stewart's Home and Away, isn't it?
Come on,
Oh, they're
Jack.
the same thing, aren't they?
No, they're fucking different. One's been going for like a million years longer than the other one.
No, they've been pretty similar, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they've
Fuck
both been around
off.
for fucking ages. We're not
Are they
actually
in
talking.
Are they in the
Wait,
same cinematic
Jason
universe,
Donovan.
do you think?
One of them's at the beach. That's the difference.
Actors.
Don't
That's,
they?
that's the
Which
away
one's got
part,
Alf?
I think.
Home and away.
Alf.
Shout out to Alf. The fucking
Fuck him up, Alf.
Fuck him up, Alf.
Neighbours has been going since 1985, and Home and Away has been going for 1988. So we're talking about the actual longer
That is
one.
a huge difference, Dylan.
Pommies
I
love
apologise.
Neighbours.
It's about the same amount of
Commies
years.
love Neighbours.
Yeah, they do. They're mad for it.
That's true.
Did you say commies? Like as in commies?
Pommies.
Pommies.
Oh, pommies. I thought he's over there. He's like, the damn commies love
Well,
Neighbours.
We got about 3 minutes in
Don't
before
know. They haven't
Jack
been
went
questioned
off.
about it, so.
I thought he said.
What
I
did
swear to
those-
God, I thought he said commies. Anyway,
Yeah.
Commies may love Neighbours.
true story. One of my customers, in my old territory for work, was the canteen at the set of Neighbours. So I used to go and see all the actors and that there.
Did you become good friends?
No, but we were there for one another.
Good.
That's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about.
Before
not-
anyone gets
Too down the rabbit hole.
Down the rabbit hole. The joke of saying it, we're talking about the Neighbours TV show might wear off. I actually wanted to talk about real life Neighbours because I was inspired by Jack this week, who went off on a bit of a tangent about his neighbour. And I'd like you to
Certainly did.
retell this story for the podcast audience to get us going. And I want to talk about Bad Neighbours because you had a bad neighbour.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seth Rogen.
So to
Yeah, the movie Nicholas Stoller directed it. Did you know?
Zac Efron.
So-
Zac Efron being
Zac,
buff
shout out to Zac
ass.
Efron. If he's not
Rose
one of the
Byrne.
best looking bastards on the planet, yeah, Rose
I'd
Byrne's fine. She's
I'd fuck him. I'd fuck her.
I'd
fuck all of them. I'd
Yeah.
fuck Seth Rogen.
I reckon Seth Rogen would be the best cuddler. Don't you reckon? Don't he looks like he just gives the best cuddles?
I'd
don't
fuck
think
anyone
about
in
that.
that movie but the baby.
That's
That's where you draw the line.
Yep. No, that is a
That-
fair
I can
line to draw.
appreciate
I
that.
reckon. That I have full respect to that.
That's fine.
Anyway, so if you, for the loyal listeners and viewers out there, if you do remember back to my very first journal, right at the start, I'm like just strolling around the house in the morning. I'm like, oh, check this out, and go out the back door. I'm like, fucking neighbours got a fucking dog, and motherfucker doesn't stop barking. Now that was, if anyone,
20
Kiwi fact
episodes
checker.
ago.
Yeah, 21 episodes ago. It was like Feb. When did we get back from RTX? Anyway, it's not important.
After
It's like
Waitangi weekend.
it's like 3 months ago, right? So this has been consistent for the last 3 months. This fucking dog, and this is the neighbours out the back, so they're not side by side. They're the ones directly behind us. This dog, it's like a Labrador. It's got like 2 by 3 meters of space to frolic in. These are like big dogs. They need space to frolic and, use energy and stuff. So what happens is, we get home like, between 5 and 6 most nights with, whatever, and try and sit down on the couch, and this dog is like,
That doesn't sound like a dog at all to me. That
Pounding the
sounds
shit
like a
out
good
of the
time over
fence. Yeah.
every night.
You want to
Every
plug
night
holes in the
consistently.
fence and it'll stop.
What? Every night consistently for the last 3 months, and in the mornings as well, it just barks non-stop. And from the start, I was like, fuck this shit. Like, I'm not happy with this. This can't go on. So I was like, no, let it go. It's just a puppy. It'll stop probably soon. You got to give them a chance. I'm like, okay, no worries. I'll because I don't like confrontation. I don't want to, it's not. No one likes
to fight,
no.
cunts?
Yeah, not all the time.
Not all the time.
No, not all the time. But anyway, so the other night, we had, the other day, we it was a long day. We had a funeral and a few other things, and I'd had a few drinks, and we get home, and I was just not in the mood to be fucked with. And I was all night it's fucking barking, and I'm like, oh, and am I just going to go out there and just scream over the back fence, or what am I going to do? I don't know, am I going to throw something over throw a brick through their back window? I'm like, this is fucked. Anyway, so I'm like, let it go to bed. I'm lying in bed. I'm trying to just rest my brain. Sal's sleeping, William's sleeping, and fucking 9:30 at night. I'm like, right.
You're making me so horny, but continue.
What? I'm like, all right, enough is enough. I need to go and say something, because this is just fucking bullshit. It's 9:30 at night, and this fucking dog just doesn't stop. So I get out, I walk around the street, go and knock on the door of this guy's house, and I'm like, doesn't first thing I hear footsteps and whispers behind the door, and then there's no answer. I'm like, no. You are answering the door. You're not leaving me out here. It's knock, knock, knock again. Guy opens the door up, opens it up 5 centimeters. He's like, oh, hello. What do you want? I'm like, mate, I'm just your neighbor from behind. Do you want to come out? Can you come out so I can talk to you? He's like, oh, yeah, okay. Comes out. It's like, what's up? I'm like, you know why I'm here, don't you? He goes, oh, the dog. So he's aware that it's an issue. And then he goes, oh, look, yeah, he's just a puppy. We're just trying to train him, so you'll just have to be patient. I'm like, oh, no, he didn't. I'm like, dude, it's been 3 months. We've been patient. We've let it slide. It's been barking since day dot. And just had a conversation with the guy about, not cool, got a baby whose bedroom is right at the back where the dog fucking sits barking every night. Now it's pissing me off because I'm trying to sleep. My missus is trying to sleep. This fucking dog just doesn't stop. I'm like, so I'm doing the right thing, mate. I'm coming to you first to let you know that it's an issue. Sort your fucking dog out, please. We've been patient. We've done the right thing. We've given it a chance. It needs to stop. And he's like, oh, okay, yep, no worries. Thanks for letting me know. Rah, rah, rah. Thankfully, he was I had never seen the guy before, but I'd heard him over the back fence, and I'm like, I'm hoping he's not a big dude, like a biker or something. I'm gonna go around there and tell him to shut the fuck up, and he's gonna probably squash me like a bug. But yeah, so no more dog barking, great. But my thing with neighbours,
did it actually work?
Yeah, last 3 nights. Not since when was that? That was Thursday. No dogs barking. So good.
Amazing what will happen when your intimidating man comes around to your house.
I actually think he killed it. I just think he's lying. He actually jumped over the fence and just
killed
it.
the dog. killed the
Have you
whole
seen the dog
family.
since?
Well, to be fair, no one's seen the family since. So no.
This is incriminating evidence.
I'm sort
You
of
sent your sister round, didn't you?
she strangled him.
Oh, I just thought I'd strangle it.
Yeah, no. So I wish I had done it months ago because it's ruined countless nights of trying to watch TV in the lounge room with this dog fucking barking. But my policy, I guess, or whatever, with neighbours is the best neighbour is the neighbour that you don't know exists. That is, I reckon, the best neighbour. Just don't even, like, maybe a wave out the front every now and then. Maybe like a, hey, how you going? But don't come around fucking ask to borrow my tools. Don't come around like, oh,
cup of sugar? You know what I mean?
Yeah, cup of sugar. Nah, fuck that. No, I don't want to know you. I don't want to know.
Nobody needs that much sugar on a whim.
Home is where I'm like, this is my little safe space. Leave me the fuck alone. And I don't
Can
want
I
to
just
know
have a...
Jack.
I was about to say, I want to go to Jono because he's the guy who told me the other day sometimes he'll just talk to the person who's sitting next to him in the cinema because that's what he does. Jono, do you talk to your neighbours?
I've never had a relationship with a neighbour.
Ever?
No.
You've never just been like,
sounds
You
like
don't
would
love
you like
thy
to talk
neighbour?
about Jeebus?
One at a time, guys. One at a time. No, I've never, like, kids growing up always used to kick the footy or play cricket on the road with their neighbours where I used to live. In the courts, the quiet roads, not the main roads. But I was never anyone that knew the neighbours or had mates that lived next door, and even as an adult, I've pretty much kept that up. I would wave, like Jack says, at the mailbox or something like that. But I've never really had a relationship, which is interesting because a lot of people feel like it's like Hannah's family are farmers, and they come over here and like, so what are your neighbours like? I don't know, because when you're a farmer, you kind of your neighbours are the only people you see, so you kind of rely on each other and have some kind of relationship, and they can't imagine living so close to other houses and not knowing these people. But yeah, it's never really been.
Do you know anything about your neighbours at all? Was nothing? It's just
I
like
did
a wave.
I did when we moved here a year ago because they were quite outgoing, and being new to town, we just said hi and stuff. And they had pigeons in the backyard, and he would mow the front part of our nature strip. So he was a good old bloke, Mickey. But they've moved now, so I don't know about the new people.
I find that so weird. Like, I've only been in the house I'm in at the moment for 6 months, and a bit longer than 6 months. But within the first couple of weeks, I knew what my neighbour to my left, I knew their name, I knew what they did. I was like, we introduced each other. Like, she came over, was like, hi, blah, blah, blah. And then the neighbour on the right, at some stage, she was outside, and I was like, hi, I'm such and such, blah, 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 just moving in. I was like, hi, I'm blah, 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 I'm a teacher. So I'm like, I know who all my neighbours are.
Actually, I told a lie. When I lived in Mildura, I lived next to this...
Jesus can't fuck you up, son.
I lived next to this old lady, like 70s or something. Did I tell the story about getting locked outside my house?
No, please do. Regale us.
Yeah.
Was you naked?
I was almost naked, yeah.
Yes.
That's just because it's so hot in Mildura.
You need to
Would you
send
say
some
it-
pictures so we can use them
Would
in
you
the
say
YouTube
it
video.
was pleasurable?
No, there was no pleasure involved.
Was there an explosion?
No. So I was
What
in
would
the
happen
backyard.
if you said both of those words consecutively?
I was in my backyard of this unit, so I was
Damn it.
getting some clothes off the clothesline. I had a business shirt
You were putting
on.
in work.
Yeah, I was. I put on a
Were
business
you like
shirt.
risky? Were you risky business in it? Were you with like undies and business shirt?
I was by the end of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I went out the back door in my undies, and then the door closed behind me.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, I'll throw on this business shirt that's on the line, go around to the front. The front is locked. I don't have a spare key for some reason. Like, I've taken it inside and not put it back. And I think it was my day off, but it was like coming close to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was thinking, crap, what am I going to do? So I go and knock on this old lady's unit next to mine, and she was really nice, but we never really... I knew she was a Collingwood supporter. That was all I knew, really, about her. And I asked her... I knocked on her door, and I said, I've locked myself out.
Would you like to see something?
Can you drive me to my real estate agent? Which is like a 10-minute drive, basically. So I'm sitting next to her in the car for 10 minutes in my jocks, which are kind of the briefs. So they're kind of undies, but not boxers. They're, the ones in between.
Tidy whities. Question.
Yeah.
Was there no pants on the line, or was this just shirts?
It was just a shirt for some reason, yeah.
Just a shirt.
Washed a
Just
shirt.
one shirt.
Well, either it was just a shirt, or for some reason I was wearing a shirt. I don't remember. It was about 8.
So this story's getting shaky the longer it goes.
It was about 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. And so she drives. I'm thinking like, oh, maybe these undies are kind of baggy. Maybe they're pretty much footy shorts, so I can get away with this. And so yeah,
What was the woman wearing?
I walk into the real estate agent in bare feet, jocks, and a business shirt, and I just have to say, I've locked myself out of the house. Do you have a key that I can borrow? And it was, yeah. I mean, most people would be pretty embarrassed, but I managed to just, fake it and get through it without turning red. So that's my story about my neighbour.
You didn't
Imagine
think to
how
call them?
excited. Sorry, go Ash.
I didn't
You
think
didn't think
to call them.
Yeah.
Well, they would have had to drive 10 minutes out, and as I said, it was like close to 5 o'clock, so they would have been closing, and they probably would have just told me to bad luck. That was
Are you
my-
then supposed to break into your house, or?
I believe I didn't even have my phone on me.
Oh no.
That was the other thing. And yeah,
Well,
no
where
one-
would you
Of
have
course,
had
no
it?
You could
pockets.
ask the lady to borrow a phone instead of asking her to drive you with
Yeah,
no
but
pants on.
what am I gonna ask her
don't
for yellow pages as well? It was the best solution to a bad situation, Ash.
Imagine how
70-year-old
how
hasn't
ex-
got Google.
I'm
how
sorry for
excited
critiquing
this-
your decision.
Imagine how excited this old lady was. She opens the door. Young strapping author standing there. Boxer shorts, business shirt. It's dark and the sun's starting to set. She's a bit lonely. It's a little bit warm inside, but there's a chill in the air. Yeah. She opens the door. Hunky Jono Peck standing there. Pretty much in all his glory.
You single at the time?
I've lost my key.
I was
She's like,
actually, yeah. And I repaid her by breaking her hose when she wasn't home one day. So
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Oh wait, do you mean you actually broke like her hose, or was that like a
No.
Euphemism?
Like I borrowed her hose, and the connection to the tap snapped off, and I just
Fuck yeah.
pretended like I didn't do it.
That's hot.
The hose is in transmission of
unchristian.
water as opposed to hose that you might purchase.
You might what?
She was a pimp and he broke her hose.
Yeah,
I stole hose from one of my neighbours once.
I repented for that, Nick. I'm sorry.
Oh no. Oh, no.
I've got a hose. That's my hose story. One time I was trying to make a bong and we didn't have any hose. So we jumped the fence, stole their hose, cut off enough to make a bong piece, and then threw it back over.
The Explosion Network does not condone the use of drugs.
Unless it's legal where you are.
Unless
Look,
it's legal, yes.
if that's completely fine. Yeah, you can talk about it's fine. It's fine. Weed's
fine.
illegal some places.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Tom, tell me about it. We need a neighbour update from you because you're also one of the OG neighbour people who's always spying on his neighbour, who apparently just stands there. What games is he playing these days? Is he finished? Has he platinum to rise? And what level is he on?
Persona?
What's happening?
So I don't have a huge amount to update with Neighbourhood Watch at this point.
Oh, right, on to
he's,
someone else then.
He's walked past and we've waved a couple of times, and I think he had some friends around the other night. Just because I could hear noise coming out of their house.
What type of noise?
Sort of drinking and talking kind of noise.
Drinking noises.
Nothing exciting.
Oh, drinking.
Disappointing.
No, I've not seen them playing anything lately, which is a bit of a disappointment.
Do you know
have
his-
you got any good neighbour stories from your youth then? Or does everyone in New Zealand that doesn't live in the city just live like 100 yards, like hundreds of metres away from each other?
Well, I did actually live in the city growing up, but I don't. Apart from a shout out to Nicola, who is the neighbours and of my mum and dad's. She is their daughter, who actually listens or
Doctor?
used to listen.
Yeah.
But
She listens to this
Why?
podcast.
yeah, she did. I don't
Did
know.
she really?
Yeah.
What?
She was.
Not
She
now.
was.
Nicola.
She was.
I was about to say, I just said fuck her, so she's not listening anymore.
She was, I think, one of the first few people to like the Facebook page, and then I got there's a random Facebook message. She was on holiday and just listening to the back catalogue of episodes. So
All right, well,
No
shout
way,
out
that's
to her.
awesome.
Just
Shout out to Nicola.
take back anything I said in the last 5
If you're
minutes.
single,
Yeah, she wants to
slide
slide
into
into
Dylan's
your
DMs.
DMs.
I was going to say
Yeah, good question.
there's
Why
no
hasn't
point
she-
in taking it back, Dylan, because she's not interested, as we found out. So
Yeah.
Nicola, please email through to explosionpod@gmail.com and tell us
I
why
don't
you
think
haven't
that's-
slid
That's
into...
not an email.
Isn't that one of our emails?
Go to the contact page on our website.
Please send your email.
We're up to episode fucking 10. You've got a sports podcast you've started. There's like 5 episodes of the other one, and you're like Explosion Pod.
Oh, that's our Twitter, isn't it?
Podcasts.
That's our Twitter, isn't it?
.com.au.
Pleasureexplosionmail@gmail.com.
Fucking good job.
And
Jack.
tell us.
Good fucking job.
I'll recover that well. No, I got confused. The other one's our Twitter.
You didn't discover that well at all.
No.
One's our Explosion Pod's our Twitter.
Look,
Pleasure.
that email count looked a lot like Eddie Murphy to me.
Oh dear. Nicola, please send us some feedback. It was we want to know how we can improve the podcast to make Dylan a little bit more desirable
And
for our
Jack a
female
little less
audience.
racist.
And a little less
And
racist.
I guess the only of the neighbours' stories or things that I would say is probably the opposite to Jono. I've sort of made a bunch of friends out of neighbours, Nicola included. Had a neighbour, like my direct neighbour in the hostel at uni, is still a very good friend of mine. We have family friends.
I didn't count uni neighbours because I lived on res and everyone around me was a friend.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Yeah, so
and then decades long sort of family friendships out of neighbours. So, yeah.
they could film a soap opera about you.
They probably could. I wouldn't recommend they do, but...
That's all very interesting, Tom. Does anyone have any interesting stories about the name?
I didn't say that I had any interest in
I want to go to Nick because Nick, as we all know,
Only
Nick hates
serious.
everyone and everything.
Only serious.
Apart from us. So, Nick, which neighbours have you killed? Which neighbours haven't you killed? And what did they do to deserve it, if anything?
I have not killed any neighbours. I want to go
This
that on
week.
the record.
As far as the police are aware at this point.
One of them sneezed one night. He went over there with a hatchet and just.
Does that
No,
mean you didn't
I'd-
figure out whose dog ate your guinea pigs?
True. I haven't figured that out.
Yeah.
But when you do,
Their days are numbered.
Maybe.
Probably my sister.
the silence.
I don't really have very many interesting stories. Just back before we moved into our current house, we used to live in like a row of units, and we used to live next to the door to this Indian family, and they were silent all day. But
Don't say anything, Jack. Don't say anything in this whole bit
I'm
at
not
all.
fucking racist. This is getting out of hand. I'm probably the least racist out of this whole. I'm probably the most culturally diverse, other than Ash.
Only a racist says they're
of
not
this whole
racist.
group.
Yeah. The most racist person is the one who says, I'm the least racist.
I am the least racist.
I have more cultural diversity in my left nut than Nick does in his left nut.
Why are you singling out Nick?
Tell us more about your left nut.
And
He's the whitest one in the group. Actually, that's not true. Dylan's the whitest one in the group. We're getting off topic. Tell us
Indian,
Indians.
yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
Indian family. Come
Looked
about
like
10
Eddie
o'clock at
Murphy,
night, they would just... I don't know, it's like they sleep all day, and then come 10 o'clock at night and they would just wake up and scream at each other, and they'd be cooking curries, and the smell would be coming across. And it was impossible to sleep.
That's awesome, though. The smell of... I
Then-
love that. Like, that's the aroma.
Not really, it smelled like dog shit curry.
That's not good. When I was walking around to yell at my neighbour the other night, I could smell the Indian like I walked past one of the Indian family's houses, and I could smell the curry smell coming through. It's awesome.
Was it a long walk? Now that I think about it, it's the neighbour behind you. So
Well, we're like
You
4
just jumped
houses
the fence.
down from the corner. Yeah, I just jumped their back fence and then walked around the front and knocked on their door. No, we're like 4 houses down from the corner. So like I walked from the corner and then walked down. So it was like
that's not too bad.
less than 5 minutes.
I also
And-
have a question back to your story, Jack.
Yes, sir.
You kept calling it the lounge room.
Yes.
Does anyone else call it the lounge room? Because it's either
Yes.
the lounge
Yes.
or the
Everyone.
living room.
No, lounge room.
Lounge room.
Lounge is
Lounge.
okay.
Well, family room.
Fuck out of here with your fucking...
What do you call it?
I just said
The
it's either the
boudoir.
lounge or it's the living room. It's not the
it's the-
lounge room. Sounds weird.
It is a lounge room.
The crumpet room.
Nah.
I call it the TV room. 'Cause that's
No,
really
you
what it's
don't.
all
Don't you
about.
fucking lie to us, Jonathan Peck.
No, I don't actually
Doesn't
refer to the room by name.
Why? What's wrong
What?
with
What?
calling
You
it
just-
by its
He
name?
doesn't want to
It has
assume
feelings
it's
as well.
You know, the one next to the dining room.
I'll just
That's
say.
like such an evil thing to say. I don't refer to it as its name.
I was just say I was on the couch, or like I was in the kitchen.
Your kitchen is in your living
So
room?
the kitchen has a name, but
Yeah, it's one of those open
lounge room
plan
doesn't.
rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was in the kitchen
As is
cooking,
ours.
and then I sat in the couch in the beep room.
I went and sat redacted.
So when you
That
have to
sound wasn't
vacuum
it.
the lounge room, what do you say? I'm going to vacuum
Near
where the couch is?
Well, it's the only area that really matters in my house, so I'll just say I'm going to vacuum.
I'm going to vacuum the only area that really matters.
This story's got holes in it. I'm not buying it.
Why do I need to specify?
What, where the lounge room is?
Why wouldn't you
Yeah.
specify?
So if you had to draw a
specifies
floor
that.
plan of your house, would you just leave that room blank?
No, if I had to do something, I would come up with either lounge or family, but I wouldn't know which because I had never stuck to one or the other. So,
Does
I
your
would just-
family? What does your mum call their living room?
good question. So this is possibly why I'm
Thank you.
confused.
Call up Jono Peck's mum.
Mum
Get her on the
and
show.
dad have kind of like two lounge areas.
Oh, look how fancy they are.
And one of them would be the lounge, and one of them would be the family room. And I never really understood why one was what it was and not the other. So it just confused me, I think.
Because one's for living and the other one's for lounge.
I've never been rich enough to have two living rooms.
That doesn't
Jono's-
make sense.
If you're not lounging, you're not living. So
We had a lounge and a family room as well, and the lounge was like where the nice couches and coffee table were, and you would have friends
And the TV.
Yes.
and the
big
TV.
TV.
Yeah, the largest one, and then the
TV
family
room. Yeah.
family room was where the PlayStation was, and where the shitty old couches were, and where the children would be sent so that they weren't being loud while people were trying to watch TV.
Yes,
so it's
I like
not
this definition.
family. It's not family. It's kids.
Yeah,
No.
It's
I
the,
think it's get rid of the kids. It's kind of keep the family together by getting them out of my face room.
That's like
And
a.
they just-
isn't
I
It's
that like
suppose this is a
rumpus
rich
room?
folks problem.
Yeah, so it's similar to a rumpus room, I guess. But a rumpus room makes me feel like there's crayon all over the wall and stuff for like
Okay.
very small children.
I like the word rumpus. Just putting it out there.
Do you?
It is. It's a good word.
it's a cool
From
word.
here, from now shall forth, Jono's lounge room shall be known as the Rumpus Room.
I'm okay with that.
I was expecting you to say this
welcome,
is now
Jono.
the rumpus explosion because that's probably the closest we're gonna get.
That's not a bad title.
Jono, can you say that rumpus explosion?
Welcome to Rumpus Explosion.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
interior
Now we have to
design.
find where Jono said pleasure before and cut it in.
I'm so disappointed when I made the trailer. Also, if you haven't watched the trailer for the Explosion Network, you should go watch that and like the video. That would be great.
Where can I see that?
We don't. We need 100 subscribers to get a fucking URL, so it's probably youtube.com/WXY2ZX78.
That link doesn't work. I just checked
Or
it.
if you go on Twitter or
Fuck
Facebook,
off.
I assume you could have links there.
I should have edited in the trailer though. I should have just made Jono just be like, pleasure, explosion. Ashley, do you have any neighbor stories?
Oh,
Bad
sorry, I
ones,
think
good
we were
ones?
only halfway through Nick and I interrupted. If Nick
Nick-
didn't want to finish.
Nick was
No.
like,
Nick
I'm pretty
hated
sure
the
he
Indian
came to
neighbours.
came to a
Is that
finish.
what else?
He-
Nick hates
Yeah.
Indian people.
Oh, no, I don't want to
See,
get
he's the
into
racist
that.
of the group.
I just have a conflict with my neighbour at the moment, that's all.
What's that? Can you go into that?
Oh, not really.
Legal.
Of course you
Can
can.
It's like this is probably like the best thing we have for this episode, and you're holding it back from us.
No, he's...
Sure, it's not one of your former neighbours.
No, no.
Wink.
He was nice to us when we moved in, but recently he's turned into a big cunt. That's about it.
Go on.
Go on.
No, it's too much to go into.
I had like a perfect swing into Ash, and then everyone was like, now we spent the last minute being like, no, yeah, no, yeah, no. Yeah.
That was
Ash-
valuable
Sensational
content.
podcast.
Ashley, talk about neighbours.
You also have the option to cut that out and just make your segue work if you want to.
We don't cut. We're authentic.
It's the original. Not much interaction with my neighbours ever. When I was growing up, we liked the neighbours that were on our right-hand side from the road. On the left-hand side, they were kind of dicks, but we didn't really interact with them.
What'd they do?
I don't know.
Why were they dicks?
They wouldn't
You
throw the
don't know
tennis
why
ball
they
back.
was dicks.
Just really unfriendly. The only story I can think of the top of my head is me and my brother were playing cricket in the backyard. I was bowling towards the fence on their side, and we were wisely using a cork ball, which you can imagine made a lot of noise when it was hitting the fence. So
Yeah.
What's a cork ball?
it's a ball made of cork,
I've never heard of
Fucking
that.
spot
Like
on,
amazing.
Bevan.
like really hard cork.
Like a cricket ball?
You'll love that hard cork.
You know what I want to
walked
do?
straight into
I
that
want
one,
to have
didn't
a
I?
hard cork.
Hard
Yeah,
cork
it's a miracle I
explosion.
didn't break a window.
I've never heard of it.
Haven't
I've got to
Heard of
Google this
cork?
now.
haven't heard of
You haven't
Cork?
lived, Nick.
You never drank wine? They put corks in those. Picture that in a bowl shape.
Nick doesn't drink wine.
Oh, he doesn't. Yeah.
Anyway, we hit the
I think-
fence a bunch of times, and he came out all pissed and said if we broke the fence, we'd be paying for it. So we
I
stopped.
think
off
your
and fucking
your issue
stuff.
there was the fact that you were playing cricket.
All I'm
got no
thinking is
response
that
to that.
Good.
Nobody's
all I'm
nobody's
thinking
going to
is that
argue
he's
that
like-
cricket's a shit sport. Good, I'm fine with that.
he's like,
Was it
"This
like a
neighbour's
cricket
dick,
ball?
But I nearly broke his fence, and he told us off.
He didn't even.
But he's a
We
dick.
built the fence when we built the house, so the fence was there when he built their house next door. So it's not really his fence, is it?
Fences are shared properties. I'm concerned as far
That's
as
true.
That's
Yeah,
true,
they
yes.
own half.
I'm pretty
Um,
are they? I don't think they are.
Yes,
No,
they
they
are.
are.
They 100%
Oh,
are.
yeah, they are. Yeah.
You
When my-
Australians
Right,
and
so I was in the
weird
wrong.
property law.
When my dad built this place, he made that he before building any of the fences, he asked the neighbour on each wherever it was like, "You gonna put in half of this?"
Yeah, they have to. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. So that's how
gotta.
it works.
Yep.
The way I
Pay
thought it
half
worked
of
was
it.
you're responsible for one side and then your neighbour's responsible for the other side.
No.
So 50-50.
That's
See,
not
this was
the
in
case.
like a subdivision where they was just starting to put houses in. So we were like the first house in that street or whatever.
And we didn't follow laws because it was a subdivision.
Yeah.
Good job.
Sub-laws.
Interesting. Has anyone
Brisbane?
lived next to junkies? Because I find they're the
Yes.
most entertaining of neighbours.
Of course, Nick.
Currently.
Currently,
Is that what the problem is?
is that the problem with your neighbour? Is
No,
that the
actually,
other
they're the good neighbours.
Oh,
junkies are the good neighbours?
Oh yeah, the good
themselves.
neighbours are just cooking a
their
bit of
blinds
meth here and
closed.
there.
No, they're really nice people. And like the son who was a junkie moved out. He got done for growing pot. But I come home one day
You
from
moved
work.
out to jail, or
And no. The mother kicked him out. But we got home. I got home one day
narc.
from work, and they had a party the night before, and the son and the friend OD'd on that synthetic drug stuff, and there were cops and fucking ambulances everywhere.
holy shit.
Yeah, that synthetic stuff's messed up.
I've
Yeah.
been the shit neighbour, kind of, technically. Even though I
that
didn't
doesn't
live
surprise
there.
us.
But right, so here we go. You said I. So I used to hang out down at my friend's place all the time, to the point where I might as well just live there. And this is what the same. We put the same house where I was jumping fences to build bongs, right? We were fucking terrible. And
Did they ever cotton on that you're stealing hose?
No, I mean, I think they were druggies too, so they were just like, hose your bros, fucking woo.
They just assumed it was one of them that had cut the small piece of the hose off.
Yeah, they probably would have. They would have been like, "Oh, who fucking spoke to?" But the neighbors to the left of this house fucking like hated the ones on the right were like druggies too. I think so. It was fine. They were always out the front of the house smoking cigarettes, chilling. Just they always had friends over, kind of like this house. There was always people there. We were always just like hanging out front, fucking drunk or fucking smoking cigarettes. Like it's terrible. Terrible. But we had like so many fucking parties. At one stage, we had like the cop shop like 3 or 4 times in one night, and we're just yelling. And then that someone broke the neighbor's drove a car into the neighbor's mailbox and smashed that to pieces, and
Good times.
all kinds of shit. So, I never broke anyone's stuff or anything, but I was there. I did take part in it. So technically, I have been a bad neighbor before, so I'm on the opposite side. I've never lived next to anyone bad. I've been in the house that like everyone in the street fucking hated. It
prick.
was like these
So
fucking
you were
guys.
Zac Efron.
Yeah, At some stage, although not to that
He
extent.
wishes.
I watched that movie. I was like,
Maybe,
we never had that. We never
McLovin.
had that.
Sorry.
Yeah, we never. Yeah, McLovin. Picture it was like 6, 7 McLovins and no girls.
That sounds horrible.
Well, actually, there was. It's like one girl. It's his sister, but that doesn't really count for shit.
Not for him, it
But-
doesn't.
I wish we was the Bad Neighbours. I'd love to have had. That would have been some good stories. I kind of wish I had a fucking like 18 to 20, couple years of that. But then I'd be like, did everyone watch Bad Neighbours 2 where suddenly goes all sad
Yeah.
because Zac Efron's like trying to grow up and he's like, fuck, I'm too old now. And then all the younger kids are like, look at
Relatable.
this old dude. I was like,
Spoilers
wow,
for
this is
Neighbours
kinda-
too. Fuck.
It's like the fucking
Oh,
first 10
God.
minutes, Jack. Jesus Christ.
I haven't seen the film, and I
It's a
certainly
plot.
haven't seen the trailer.
Synopsis.
It's a plot. Yeah, it's a plot synopsis. Are we going to go back to spoilers? Plot synopsises are not spoilers, Jack.
Yes, they are.
If
Synopsis.
it's on the Blu-ray box,
It would have been
Or
a
the
spoiler for The
poster.
Force Awakens. Big time.
So I used to live next door to some junkies. Back on the subject.
I never lived in Melbourne.
No, not you. They're
Why
like
do you everything have to
specifically
be about you?
specifically bongheads. These guys were, and the fucking dad every morning, every night, but I don't like it's just ridiculous hours. You'd hear because they like their I think it was their bathroom was like the house is side by side, and their bathroom was there. And then there was the fence, and then our bathroom was there. And my bedroom was like you had the bathroom, and then the hallway, and then my bedroom was there. So it's like if my door was
I like
open,
how you just keep saying there. You're like,
sorry, yeah.
it's there.
Clearly
You've got-
showing us
what
with
he-
your
bathroom.
hands.
You've got bathroom, hallway, my bedroom. Like if you're going across
To the
like-
north of the house?
Yeah, that's right. And so I could hear him
What
in
size
the
were they
mornings.
in relation to one another?
I could hear him in the mornings, and he like as loud as you could ever fucking imagine. No shit, like that's how it sounded. Fucking hell, it was so bad.
What, every day?
Every fucking morning, that prick like in the bathroom, on like hocking his lungs up.
What was it
And
sounding
really-
like?
Fucking drinking.
He was smoking bongs.
Are you
I've
sure
never
it wasn't
once-
another
I've
person
never
dying
once
from cancer?
frozen-
You sure didn't have
Smoking something
emphysema.
else?
Yeah,
guy's-
that doesn't sound right.
This guy had been smoking bongs. He's like in his 50s, so it's not like he's not a young guy. He'd been fucking smoking bongs for
I've never
a
heard of
very
anyone
long time.
like fucking chuck up in the morning. Like, I don't know.
Coughing. You've never heard of someone with a bad bong
Oh,
cough?
coughing. I thought you meant he was chucking.
No.
Okay,
he was
okay.
coughing. Like that's how his
That
coughing
was a
sounded.
bad cough in person.
Yeah, he was like,
That's how it
Did you go
sounded.
around to see him too?
That's no, my dad. No, this was back when I lived like with my parents. My dad used to always blew with him though, because he had a fucking like he had his shed where I'm pretty sure he was growing his weed, and for some like the gutter was all fucked up. So that when it rained, the water would just run straight over our fence and then like fucked up like all the concrete, and it was a whole thing. But fucking the worst. And then for some reason, don't know why, they decided to get roosters in the suburbs. For what reason they needed roosters, I'll never know. But if you ever live next to
I was
someone
going to
that
say
owns roosters,
eggs, but that's not correct.
That's the wrong type.
it's like,
Yeah,
what fuck
no.
reason does anyone, unless you live on a farm, have to own fucking roosters? Like, seriously, give me a fucking break.
I'm fairly
So
certain
that
that chickens also do that in the morning. Like, it's not just roosters that... Yeah,
No,
because
Well, chickens
we
make
had
noises,
we had
but they
chickens
don't
and
do
they
that.
didn't. No,
My-
we had chickens and they didn't. Cry.
my brother
I'm
had
pretty sure.
chickens and they did.
They were probably roosters.
They were definitely... Else he was eating some very funky eggs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So junkies, no good. in
Yeah, I had a
summary.
guy I lived next to the same place in Mildura, and he would get into these domestic fights over the phone, I assume, because I could never only hear his side of the conversation.
you fucking bitch, I'm gonna fucking
It was
you, bro, fuck.
it was pretty much every time it would come to, you don't love me. No, you don't love me. And I would
No shit.
I would just imagine him talking to his dog or like a goldfish or something.
Very good.
That always made me laugh. It was very loud though. Like I'm trying to play Fallout 3 or something and killing my vibe.
I always had a weird. I just saw it. I always had a weird one. Like at some stage, I would have been like 10, maybe around then, and I was outside in this house we lived in, and the kids next door to us would have been like teenagers, probably like 15, 16, like a few years older than me, I guess. But they were outside and I was playing with a bowl or whatever, and I was like, "Hey man, how are you?" And I was like, "Yeah, good." They're like, "Do you want to come over and like play PS1 or like PlayStation. I was like, sure, no problem. And I like just jumped the fence. I like went into my neighbour's house and I think I was in there for like an hour and was playing like Tekken. And then I went back and Mum was like, where the hell were you? And I was like, I was just over at the neighbour's house. And she was like, you can't just go to the fucking neighbour's house. Like, what if they'd killed you? I'm like, they were nice people. They were fine. Like,
If he dies,
common
he
theme here.
dies.
it's just like that.
Didn't
that
your
thing, I
mum
think,
also
like,
say the people on the internet are going to kill you as well?
Yeah. It's weird. It's like I think I was just brought up with.
To be fair,
like,
the people on the
like
internet still
everything's
may kill
gonna
you.
kill you, and like especially when you're a kid, you're just like
Yeah.
you don't have like that fear of life and people. You grow into that as you get older, I think.
Really?
So
My parents used to always drill into me, don't talk to strangers, don't listen
Yeah.
to anyone.
I got that, but I never got it like drilled into my head. I think like I'd get it told all the time, but I obviously never clicked because I'd be like, "Oh, these guys seem fine. I'll just go to the house." Like,
Yeah, no, we were all. It was drilled into us. Like, we lived in for a period of time. We lived in a town called Eden on the Sapphire Coast, which is very close to Bega. I don't know if you guys remember the Bega schoolgirls.
No.
Cheese.
No, not the
Cheese.
Bega cheese. Don't remember like back in like the late mid 1990s.
no idea what
Pretty
you're
sure
talking
that's where
about.
they
The
make
Bega
cheese.
schoolgirls. The girls
No.
got abducted and
No.
anyway. These young girls got abducted, murdered, and stuff out in the forest or whatever.
How do you spell that?
Bega, Bega. It's the same town that
Like
the
the
cheese comes
cheese.
from. Yeah, like the cheese. Yes.
I
you get
also
cheese in New
don't
Zealand?
know for the. We do get cheese, but I don't know about the Bega cheese.
It's a very big company.
It's beautiful.
Yes,
But,
they make bigger
so
cheese
we
and bigger.
lived basically we lived near like in close proximity to a place where a horrific like rape murder double sort of thing happened, and it was always like it was always drilled into us from a very young age. Don't stranger danger. Don't talk to strangers. Plus, if you've seen Kindergarten Cop, that shit should just be like
Stranger
you know,
danger.
you should fucking know, man. If you've seen Kindergarten Cop, you should fucking know.
I think I'd watch
The
Home
thing-
Alone, but I still was like, anyone who looks like Joe Pesci, I stay away from. Anyone who's around my age, they must be fine.
The thing that
what's
is always
another
in the
kid
back of my head with Internet Strangers is the movie Sex Drive. That has always stayed
Ah, love that movie.
yeah.
I don't think I've seen
What's
it.
up, Miss Tasty?
What?
What's up? What's up?
with me. Really? You haven't seen it?
Maybe not.
Felicia.
I'm looking now.
Felicia.
Sometimes I watch a movie and then forget.
What's up?
He's got
What's up?
James Marsden in it.
Clark Duke.
Yeah.
No, never seen
Seth
this.
Green.
All that boy, Seth Green. Seth Green's the Amish guy.
Oh, spoilers, Jack.
He's
Oh,
the
for
fucking.
fuck's sake, Jake. I guess I
sh-
won't watch the movie now because it's ruined for me. Like, I didn't know he was an Amish guy. Now that I know he's an Amish guy, I obviously can't watch the movie because I won't go
It's on the-
and not
it's
know
on the
he's an Amish
fucking
guy, so
cover
you
of
ruined
the-
fucking
it's on
movie.
the-
Yeah, well, guess what? The plot of some movies are on the fucking cover too, Jack.
Shut the fuck up.
Cunt.
That movie's fucking hilarious. Go watch it.
No, I'm good. I've seen it. It
You have
ends with
seen
him
it.
being an Amish guy.
Oh. Spot on, Bill.
Spot on, Bevan.
Spoilers is going to break this
Fucking-
network.
Fucking spot on, Bevan. I think it's like, I don't know. It's weird. Like the whole stranger danger thing. It's like I guess I was just too trusting of people. But it's weird now because I'm like, as I got older, I got even more less trusting of most people. It's like anyone now. I'm just like
That's what life does to you.
Yeah, I think as you get older, you're just like the world
You
sucks.
become
Everyone
more
sucks.
cynical.
Everyone must fucking suck in some way. It's like this person may seem nice, but they're probably like a murderer or some shit like that. But when I was younger, I was just like, oh, everyone's fine. Everyone must be fine. Blah blah blah. I don't know what age it changed, but definitely at some point. And you kind of wish you could just be a kid again. I don't know. I kind of find it weird that it's like a sad state of affairs that you have to do that anyway. Like the fact that parents have to be like stranger danger, don't trust anyone.
Oh, for sure. It's fucking like my dad used to tell me stories about how they would just leave the front door open and go to bed at night. Like
Yeah.
you know, your kids would just be walking down the street and that. Like now, there's no. I remember when I was a kid, even like go trick or treating. Like you'd go out on your own trick or treating. Now there's no
You
fucking
went
way I would.
trick-or-treating?
You went trick or
trick-or-treating?
treating?
Fucking oath, I went trick or treating.
You
Get that
fake
candy
Australian.
somehow.
I think I went trick or
Who went
treating
trick-or-treating?
twice.
What the fuck's wrong
Is
with
it
trick or
only
treating?
Jack?
No, I did.
No,
Yeah, you don't count.
I didn't.
Not as a
Sheltered
not
us
as a regular
motherfuckers over
thing.
here.
I didn't
but
even
think-
know of people doing it at all as a kid.
What?
People started doing it here like 2 years ago. So really, really recently.
You live in Tasmania.
maybe
it's not even a
few
real
more than
place.
that, but-
No, it's
Fuck
the
off, we
same
got
here.
NBN before you.
I've had NBN for fucking ever.
Yeah, but I got
I'll
it
make it
first.
abundantly clear that I don't give shit out either.
Oh,
Buy
no fucking
your own
surprise
candy.
over here. Nick
For some-
over
what
little
are
kids,
the
trick or treat,
weirdest-
fuck off.
Someone explain to me how this makes any sense. So
Cunt kicks the
at
kid in the
at where I work, the area there, they were doing it this year. So that was like, and my boss lives there in the area where I work, and she was like, so everyone got a letter dropped in their mailbox and was like, we're doing trick or treating this year.
Dropping off paddles.
If you would like to participate, they put one balloon in like a ladder, and I was like, if you'd like to participate, kids get some candy and stuff like that. If you don't want to participate, please hang this balloon off your mailbox. And my automatic reaction was, why are the houses that don't want to participate putting fucking balloons up, but the ones that are not surely it should be. I was like, this is the most like fucking backwards thing I've ever heard of. So all
What
these
happens when
kids
you
are,
fuck your cousin?
You're probably right. As
No
I
offense.
keep telling you, I'm in the non-cousin fucking area of Tasmania. There is a cousin
You fucked
fucking
your
area.
sister.
Fake news. It's
Is
all
there
Tasmania.
Yes,
Where is that area? As
it's like towards the bottom area. Like there's a movie.
The Hills
about
Have Eyes
cousins.
is based on.
Basically, The Hills Have Eyes. They made a movie down here a couple of years ago. Well, not probably like 5-6 years ago, and it was like these people from the mainland or whatever were like, oh, we want to go find the thylacine, or however you say it, the Tasmanian devil. And they
no,
all
he
come
was
down here.
the thylacine was the Tasmanian tiger.
Is that the hunter with
Yeah,
Willem
the
Dafoe?
tiger. No. It was no. I haven't watched that. I need to watch that though. They come down here and they end up going like down the bushland, down the south. And the spoilers for this movie that none of you are gonna fucking watch. They end up like getting attacked by this hillbilly fucking like inbred family that lives down there. So I was like, fuck, good job everyone. Made a movie about Tassie where these fucking inbred guys end up just like killing a bunch of people out in the woods. Good job everyone. That's really going to help.
Fun fact:
Stereotype.
It's going to
I
help the
have
stereotype.
a very distant family that have cousins have married.
Then why the fuck is everyone giving me shit when he just admitted it?
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have said that.
I
Nick.
didn't do it.
Yeah, but it's
Yes,
your
you
family.
Tasmania.
Did you go to the wedding?
No, it was before I was born.
Twist. It was Nick's wedding.
It was in the olden days. It's okay.
Nick,
Yeah,
you
you
married?
know,
Don't believe that's how it works.
Look, we don't talk about
Like, how
incest
much
too much. We
testing
know
do you
how
think they
Jono
had to
goes.
do before they realised it's a bad idea?
How? Probably when one of the
A long
kids come
time
out
ago.
with 4 thumbs.
There's
No,
one of the
the
kings in
third kid
Spain
comes
that
out
was
fourth.
pretty much fucked up.
See, isn't
How did we
isn't
get
the
on
whole
to talking
thing
about inbreds?
like, I don't think you actually gain limbs and things, but isn't it just essentially doubling down on like hereditary illnesses and stuff like that? Like, you're just going to be more susceptible to having a bad heart if that runs in your family, as opposed to like
I'm pretty sure
breeding
you
or whatever.
I don't know, but you're ruining the
somebody who
illusion.
doesn't.
I like to think of them like as like with like
the child
freak
from
shows.
Deliverance.
I'm gonna go with yes because I haven't seen Deliverance.
The movie was called Dying Breed.
Dying.
Was it
Breed.
like a Blair Witch style thing, or was it like a
No,
proper
it's a proper movie.
or-
It's a proper movie.
I thought you were
so
saying
is
it
it
as
a
though it was like a
movie?
documentary, and that actually happened.
Oh yeah, it's a documentary. For
No,
fuck's
that's what it
sake,
sounded. That's
Tom.
what
Well,
I thought.
because
It sounded like you
some-
said these guys went down to film like they're like, oh, we're gonna go try and find the fucking Tasmanian tiger, and then all of a sudden they get fucking butchered by some
Imagine how
inbred
fuck,
Tasmanians.
if that was a real story I just told. I
know.
would
I thought I
really
would have
expect
heard
you to
about it.
be
I'm
more
like, that
shocked.
sounds like a really interesting. I can't believe I never heard about
It's
that.
not that shocking. It is Tasmania.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah.
I was a
Shit
little
happens every second
shocked,
day.
and I was like, man, didn't hear about that. Probably not going to go search for that tiger anymore. Not that I was going to.
It was on your to-do list. You're like, platinum god seekers, find Tasmanian.
Find
tiger.
Tasmanian tiger.
Find Bigfoot next.
Yeah.
So Halloween. So no one else trick or treated.
No way.
No.
No.
Yes,
Really?
I said yes
Stupid.
like 4 times.
No, I mean, other than me and Tom, geez, you guys are. Yeah. Anyway,
What did you dress up
trick or-
as?
1 year
Western
I was
Bulldog supporter.
one year I was Spider-Man.
Halloween.
1 year I was a werewolf. 1 year I had like a skull mask and like blood all over my shirt. Trying to think what else I've gone as.
Did Jono just go, ugh?
I went,
Oh. I thought he was like picturing it and he was like, oh,
ooh.
don't like horror, don't like
Puts the
horror.
lotion on the skin.
No, I'm thinking of like 8-year-old Jack covered in blood. It's kind of confronting.
Kind of hot. It's kind of hot, isn't it?
No.
Anyway, back to my point. I would never let, like, these days we get knocked on the door, like, you know, kids trick-or-treating, and never once as a kid, like in the last, I don't know, however long, as long as I've been answering doors to trick-or-treaters, has a kid showed up without his parents in tow. Like, just doesn't happen anymore.
No.
You used to be able to just roam the streets. Fucking, Mum, I'm going to
happens
see
here.
fucking friend. And, like, you wouldn't even tell. There was no mobile phones. You didn't even sort of, which friend? No, I'm just going to so-and-so's house and fucking off
I
you go.
think
Hop on your bike.
If you know what your street's like, if you're like, this is a good street, you just got to kind of put your faith out there. Like, I know it's hard as a parent, but
Kids have to grow up sometime.
It only,
so that's like
it only
you
takes
just
a
gotta-
guy in a van coming past with some lollies to take care of whether or not the street's trustworthy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, fuck that. No.
Has anyone seen the movie Prisoner?
It's not worth taking the risk.
Yes.
Chris.
No.
Yeah, it's the one with Hugh Jackman where
It's
his
a good movie.
Kid
Oh,
gets kidnapped.
isn't it hostage?
Saw the trailers.
So in the trailer, the kid
Didn't
gets
see the trailer
kidnapped.
either.
Not a spoiler.
Sounds like a
literally the
spoiler to
premise.
me.
Or something?
Paul
Hostage?
Dano.
Oh, no.
Was it Paul
Anyway,
Dano?
doesn't matter.
Does Sean
Who
Bean
knows?
die?
Yes.
Okay.
Or was Sean Bean dead the whole time?
I was gonna-
Spoiler. That's the twist.
the other thing I was going to say was that I was telling this story to his old over there. Well, I can't remember who was actually. I was in the chat listening to this, but we used to have a neighbor here at the front who was a priest or whatever, and like he would come over all the time and be like, "Hey, what's happening?" Like this, and because we didn't have this house was built new, it's an internal block. So there'll be like no fences here. So he'd just be in his backyard, like hanging his washing out, and be like, "Howdy doodly, neighbor." Like he was literally Ned Flanders. He didn't say howdy doodly, but he was more or less the non-cartoon version of Ned Flanders. And at one
So he
stage,
wasn't
like,
literally Ned Flanders.
he was as close as you could get without
He's-
being, without
literally
being.
doesn't mean anything anymore. So
It doesn't. I read a good article on this literally the other day. I didn't actually read it. But we went over. We went to
was
his house
correct.
for like tea as well. He was like, "Hey neighbors, do you want to come over for tea like Friday night?" We went over there and he cooked the whole. We all went over there and had dinner at his place. I feel like I've had the most trusting neighbors relationships out of fucking anyone here. I've had dinners at places, just jump fences, fucking pissed people off. I've done all of it.
You're amazing.
No, ours were pretty good too. Swimming in pools and going around for barbecues and stuff.
Why
So
haven't
you'd go around as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like I honestly thought more people would be like, yeah, I used to hang out with
see,
neighbors.
Growing up or friendly
Neighbours are
with
just a
neighbours.
hassle. Well, my neighbours are great at the moment because that's literally the relationship I have with them is out the front wave. I go into my house, they go into their house, and that is literally it, which is perfect. I love them for that. The neighbours to our, like on the left hand side of us moved out about 4 or 5 months ago, and like I was just like, oh god, please don't let it be like an annoying family or someone really loud or like, and it's like this like elderly couple with like grandkids and stuff, really polite, moved in. I was like, thank you God, thank you.
I feel like you want I don't want loud neighbors. I don't want quiet neighbors. Like I kind of want to have some kind of discord. Like I feel like if you live that, and it's good to have a good relationship too, because you're like,
Yeah,
if you ever like,
relationship's
I'm
great.
going away. If I'm ever like, I'm going on holidays for 4 or 5 days. Do you want to fucking like make sure my house doesn't get
my mail?
fucking broken into? Yeah, or get my mail and shit like that. And if you only ever have a like high wave by like never talk, you're never gonna have that.
Well, we-
and go.
Yeah, we're friendly with, like, if we needed to, we would do that. We generally have someone house sit for us when we go away because of the dogs and whatnot, so we don't really worry about that too much. Except for when my fucking dog mate day, I'm like, hey, dude, can you house sit for us? What, like, we're going up to the Gold Coast for the weekend. Can you just chill out? Like, bought him all, like, here's a couple of bottles of wine, you and the missus, here's like a slab of beer, you know, there's a fucking TV remote, just hang out here and just watch, like, all you have to do is feed the dogs and make sure they don't die, and that's it. It's like, yeah, no worries. Turns out he just came on the Friday night, fed the dogs, went home, and then, like, came back on the Sunday and, like, gave him breakfast. And that's
Fucking
why,
spot
why
on.
we say,
Did he take the
Dykes's
wine?
a dog. Did he take the fucking oath? He took the wine. He's a fucking dog. This is why we say Doxy is a dog.
Is that literally the
Who says
origin?
that?
Is that actually the origin?
No, it's not the origin, but it's part of the reason why he's a fucking dog. Chris Dykes, sir, if you're listening to this, you know that you are a fucking dog.
Do you
I
have
don't
to
know
say
if
it
he's
like
a
that?
dog so much as a cunt.
I don't like it when you say it
He's
slower.
a dog. No, he's a dog.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'd be pretty displeased with that.
With what?
It makes me feel old when you say it slowly.
Yeah.
I'm so used to hearing it. Dr. the go, not down.
He's a dog.
He's a dog.
There.
The longer,
They took a jab.
Since we're all just yelling, since we're all just at the stage where we're yelling random noises, I think it's time.
No. I have one last thing, Jack.
Okay, go.
Jack, because I'm not going to be on Grandstand Gurus anytime soon, I do want you to discuss Eric Murray retiring from rowing with a consecutive 69 race wins.
Yeah, it's a fantastic effort. You know, Eric
The
is just
fuck
he's
Save it for the show.
an
talking about?
absolute gem of a
The
rower,
fuck?
and I just think that
That's
you know,
enough. I was
he's
just
Probably go
highlighting
out on top.
69
he's been a
wins
gem
in a row.
of the sport. I
And he's
have
retired.
no idea about.
Thanks for
rowing or
listening to
anything.
Pleasure Explosion, everyone, this week. I hope you're my neighbour. If you ever live next to me, I'll be a good neighbour, and I hope we can be friends and shake hands and say hi to everyone, and it'll be great.
And slide into one another's
And
DMs.
if anyone wants to slide into my DMs,
Or each
mailbox,
other's houses.
or house in general, bed, if necessary. It doesn't need to be. You can use the couch, floor, whatever works.
Well,
Bathroom sink.
it's never
fine.
necessary, but sometimes.
Slide into the G spot. Ash, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEYHOBLEY. Also, shout out to Jaden Pryor and Aaron Thatcher. You know what you did.
yeah, I know what they did.
Good.
Yeah, I know what they did.
What to do?
I don't know why they did it, but I know what they
How
did.
dare you, Jono?
It's because you need to listen to the last, 10 minutes. In fact, I think you finished about 30 seconds before.
I think it was a bit more than that, but
Nick, where can people find you?
You can find me next to your place, and you can find me on Twitter at Lord N.Prior, PRIOR.
Jono, pimp your shit.
Putting in work.
Yes, we are.
Now, that's my podcast, my more serious podcast, Putting in Work. You can check that out week to week. Comes out every Thursday. You can follow
you
me
saying this isn't
on
a serious
Twitter
podcast?
At Jono himself. And yes, this is not a serious podcast.
Audible
He's right.
gasp.
Was anybody
Oh,
shocked?
I'm-
Calling you.
you don't hear me arguing about it, that's for sure. I didn't say shit. I was like, well, I can't argue with him against that one. It's probably not. Jack, Jack, pimp your shit.
You can find me at cruisy_mate on Twitter, cruisymate on YouTube. Also,
Change
go and
that.
check out our new podcast, Grandstand Gurus. It's the #1 sports podcast on the Explosion Network. We just launched the first episode this past week, so go and thank you. Go.
What day is it going up?
It'll be generally recorded either Tuesdays or Wednesdays, depending on availability and who's on that week.
Not what he asked.
Published
That's not what he
Thursdays. We will be
Okay,
publishing.
good.
did you
Weekly?
decide if it's weekly or fortnightly yet?
I'm still deciding at the moment. I'm going to go with weekly, just at the moment. But it'll change. It will
he gets
evolve
During
and
the
it will
off-season.
change. Yeah, once like different sports and stuff start to die down, and once the other podcasts and stuff, we'll discuss. We can discuss that offline. But please go and check that out. Share it with your friends if they like sport. Ask them to share it with their friends, and then ask them to send money to my PayPal account. Just kidding. But anyway, yeah, go and check all that shit out.
Tom, where can the people find you?
They can find me anywhere and everywhere. TomDaBomb89, TomDabom89, and specifically this week, you can find me on PlayStation Network or PSN Profiles because it's easier. Where I have the motherfucking platinum trophy in Dynasty Warriors Godseekers, bitches.
You know the top 5, so it
135
doesn't
hours
count.
later.
This is the wrong podcast.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be on that. It's recording tomorrow, and I'm away. So yeah, you can.
And
have
considering Jack just spent a minute fucking talking about something I didn't understand a single. It might have been a different language. I have no idea. So I'm going to allow Tom to have 30
because
seconds.
Dylan loves his motherfucking trophies, and so do I.
do.
Bam, 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 bam.
Platinum Explosion comes out on Tuesdays.
Yep, that took me 135 hours, but it's mine now. And I stayed up far too late on Thursday night playing that. Because I was at like
Was it worth
98%. Oh, it was totally worth it.
You had a pleasure explosion when it.
I had
popped?
both a pleasure and platinum explosion when that finally popped. Yeah, it made Friday a little painful at work, but I couldn't go to sleep with like 98.5% or something, and then so it was an extra like 3 hours when I was supposed to go to sleep. But it's
You
good.
can follow.
So what are you going to do now? Is it like a...
Oh,
No, we're not. We're not doing a fucking 10-minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Platinum Explosion.
I will maybe fill you in.
Save
on
it for the
Platinum Explosion with what I'm
PlayStation.
up to.
I'm sorry, Dylan.
Tom
You can follow
DeBomb
me on
89. TOMDABO.
I quit life.
Grandstand Gurus.
Dylan, where can we find you?
You can find him
Putting
putting
in
in
the
the work.
Oh no, this is bad now.